Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Let's get open for business here, and let's wake up. Oh, guys, wake up here, guys. Man, it's Saturday morning, and I hope you guys had a great Friday night. It's been kind of a rough morning here. Good Lord. I spilled my coffee, and you know, if you've ever gotten your cell phone wet and you got to put it in rice, you know, it's not a good thing because you're dealing with electronics. And I spilled my coffee on my live streaming deck and my Roadcaster. And this is not stuff that you want. This is like buying cell phones, okay? This stuff is not cheap, and there is no warranty on it against spilled coffee. So I got to be more careful because I literally had a heart attack because this live stream controller literally is it literally controls all the cameras, and it is a very expensive piece of equipment. This is probably the second most expensive piece of equipment that I have in the studio is this streaming deck behind the Alienware computer. And then, of course, I would say probably the Roadcaster. So to spill coffee on that this morning was not a good thing. So let's get ready for business here. We are 82 days, 9 hours, 53 minutes, and 40 seconds away from kickoff against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it is the 19th, Juneteenth. Actually a holiday for the first time. We are 1 month and 2 days away from training camp opening up for the Cowboys. And our season is going to come down to one thing. You know, people will focus in on the defense, and they'll say our defense is terrible and that, you know, we don't stand a chance with our defense to do anything, you know, and rightly so. When you say that the defense was rated 29th, when we were giving up 30-plus points a game, I mean, we ended up averaging 29 as the season went on because we were facing basically a lot of talent that couldn't score 30 points to save their lives. I mean, we were playing against Josh Rosen for the 49ers, okay? We were playing against the Cincinnati Bengals, not with their starting quarterback, but a backup. We were playing against the Giants, you know, the Eagles, teams that were offensively challenged. That helped to skew the numbers down some, but still 29 points a game and 29th in scoring defense. That wasn't good. But if you point to the defense and say they were 29th and they were awful, understand that our offensive line ranked 29th last year too. People will say that Zeke Elliott, he's done, that Zeke Elliott, he can't, you know, run the football and everything. Guys, stop putting a team sport on just an individual. We must stop this and look at collectively, because it's kind of like the thing where, you know, the knee bone's connected to the thigh bone and thigh bone's connected to the butt bone. You know, that's how a team is. We learned from back in Tony Romo's era where Tony Romo was lighting up the scoreboard, throwing the ball over the place, and we just got journeyman offensive linemen. We had, you know, afterthought offensive linemen. We had over-the-hill guys. And what we learned is Tony Romo was on his back and shortened his career. Then we realized, after him coming back from injury, that we have to take care of him, and they invested in the offensive line. And you saw in 2014 probably the best offensive performance that we've seen in the last 25 years. You look at that and say, you know, DeMarco Murray got 1,800 yards, which took pressure off of Tony Romo, so he didn't have to throw for 4,000 or 5,000 yards. He could throw for 3,500 and be more effective. DeMarco Murray's not running for 1,800 yards behind a trash offensive line. So it's cause and effect. There's no way, no how that you looked at the Dallas Cowboys offense and said at points last year, without Tyron Smith, without Lyle Collins, without Joe Looney, without Zach Martin, going to your fourth and fifth offensive tackle, that you look at that and say, oh, I expect to see Adrian Peterson numbers from Zeke Elliott. It's not going to happen. Oh, and you didn't have your quarterback as well. Sure, Zeke is not breaking as many tackles as he used to. I'll give you that much. But if you've got penetration 2 and 3 yards back in the backfield and the football running back has the football, guys, you're not going to do much. It's not going to happen. It's doomed from the start, and it doesn't matter who you have back there. He's got to get a head of steam up and have a lane to run in, and that all goes down to the offensive line. It all goes down to the big uglies right here. If the offensive line gets together, and this is the biggest key, our defensive can take some steps forward, and I believe they've already taken some steps forward to change the narrative on their play. But we need this offensive line to be able to keep Dak Prescott upright. And we need them to give Dak Prescott time to hit all of these great wide receivers. We need them to open up some holes so that way Tony Pollard and Zeke Elliott can run the football. We need Tyron Smith to do what he has not done the last 5 seasons, and that's play a whole season. His body has been, multitude of injuries. He's been wearing a knee brace on the elbow. He's had the neck issues and the back issues. He's had the surgery. And we need La'el Collins to get back to where he was 3 and 2 years ago. Now, I know Zach Martin is going to be back to his all-pro level. I think Tyler Badish is going to play better because he's not a rookie and he now knows he's the guy. But we need these guys to stay together, and this is the biggest key for the Dallas Cowboys this season. Today, it looks like it's going to be raining quite a bit. I was going to try and work on my deck some, but I'm not going to do that in the rain. Maybe we'll do some film breakdown. That's one of those things that I don't do too much. I want to look back at some of the offensive line blocking that we had last year and give you guys an idea of the difference. And, I'm not saying that because here's the thing with running backs. Running backs typically, after the 4th season, start to really go downhill. That's the typical curve with running backs because they only have so many runs in their body, and they do start to come off of a cliff. Some more gradual than others. Some of them just literally just drop off the face of the earth. I don't think Zeke Elliott is going to be one of those ones that drops off the face of the earth. He has not had the injuries like, say, Barkley has. Barkley has had 2 major injuries where he's lost time. Zeke has never had that. Zeke is actually, you can say what you want about Zeke, but Zeke has taken care of his body. He's working his ass off, and he's in great shape. But again, he cannot do it on its own. And this is where the Dallas Cowboys, for whatever reason, we just never have everything put together at the same time. We have a quarterback who's playing incredible, but then we don't have the running backs. Most of the time with the Cowboys through Tony Romo's era, that was the case. Tony Romo's throwing the ball over the place, but we don't have a 1,000-yard rusher. Or we've had a great offense, and the defense isn't able to take up the slack. We have a pretty good defense, and then the offense, well, they're in the toilet. If we could ever just get everybody clicking at the same time, the potential for the Dallas Cowboys is there. It's just by whatever reason, they just can't have everything together at once. Last year, Dak Prescott was on a tear. The wide receivers were incredible. Of course, the defense was awful. And, of course, Dak gets hurt. If we could take, one of those defenses from a few years ago with the way the offense started out right there, the team would be unstoppable. It's not that you haven't had the pieces. It's just that by hook or crook, something goes wrong. And I guess this is where Stephen A. Smith, what can go wrong will go wrong. I guess we could go there with that. So I've got some things that I need to take care of this morning. Like I said, it's getting ready to rain, so I need to get everything covered up outside. And I've got some work to do in the workshop. And, of course, I got to take care of you guys. And, of course, get ready for Father's Day. And as always, Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. See you guys later.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is